right, today we're going to open up a really vital scroll from the Cannabis library. This is the Gospel of Myrcene, a kind of divine explainer on the terpene that some folks like to call the Merciful Mother.
You know, the scroll itself gives us our first bit of instruction, and I love this. It says, sit comfortably, perhaps very comfortably, for the lesson you are about to receive. Yeah, that's definitely a hint of what's to come, so let's dive in.
So our journey starts with what's called the parable of the earthy musk. And that's because to really get a handle on Myrcene, we've got to start not with our minds, but with our senses. So what is this stuff? Myrcene is a terpene, or what our source calls an aromatic spirit. And it's not just any old spirit either. It's actually the most abundant one in the entire cannabis kingdom. It's the one creating that foundational scent for so many of the strains we know today. So what is that scent? The source calls it a hymn, a really rich, dank, earthy aroma. I want you to imagine cloves, a little bit of musk, and that smell of a damp forest floor, that deep, kind of grounding scent. Yeah, that's the hymn of Myrcene. And here's something cool. This spirit isn't just in cannabis. Myrcene also lives in the sweet flesh of mangoes, the bitter flower of hops, yep, the same kind that's in your beer, and the sacred stalk of lemongrass. It's this ancient, earthy presence that you can find all over the plant kingdom. Okay, so we know the scent. Now, let's explore the feeling. We're turning the page to the blessing of stillness, and this is where we meet Myrcene as the legendary keeper of the couch lock. You see, Myrcene's effects really stand apart from the crowd. While other terpenes might make you want to dance or, suddenly clean your entire kitchen, Myrcene is different. It kind of places this heavy, comforting hand on your shoulder and just whispers, be still. And this brings us to its most famous effect, couch lock. Our source calls it the physical sacrament of Myrcene. It's that unmistakable feeling of your body just melting into the furniture, almost like gravity itself decided to get heavier. If you felt it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But this blessing isn't just physical. Myrcene also offers what's called mental mercy. For anyone with a racing mind, it just quiets all that noise. It brings this really profound calm. It's like peace for the weary and the sleepless. Okay, so we've got the scent and the feeling down, but how does it actually work? Well, now we turn to the divine gatekeeper to get the alchemist's insight, or, what we'd call the science behind it. Okay, so picture this. You've got cannabinoids like THC arriving at what the source calls the temple of the mind, which is protected by the blood-brain barrier. Well, Myrcene basically acts as the gatekeeper. It holds the door open. And because of that, those compounds can get in more quickly and more effectively, which enhances and intensifies the entire experience. Pretty cool, right? So, the next logical question is, where can you actually find this merciful mother? This next section is our guide to the congregation of strains, where its presence is felt most strongly. So let's look at a few of the high priests of this congregation. You've got Granddaddy Purple, which is just a classic example of Myrcene's sedative power. Then there's OG Kush, where that Myrcene earthiness blends with notes of fuel and lemon. And in Blue Dream, it does something really interesting. It provides balance, tempering the strain's energy with this amazing full-body relaxation. And so, that brings us to the end. We've arrived at the final benediction, a last word of wisdom from the High Chronicler. The advice here is both profound and, let's be honest, super practical. Prepare thy snacks, fluff thy pillows, and submit to the peace. It's a funny but really wise word of caution. When you seek out Myrcene, you better be ready for some deep, deep relaxation. So ultimately, the Gospel of Myrcene is for those moments, those times when your body just feels weary and your spirit is restless. It really does offer a path to stillness, a little sanctuary of calm for both your body and your mind. And that leaves us with one final question to think about. In a world that is always, always demanding that we go faster, what can we really learn from a spirit whose main lesson is simply to be still? It's a powerful thought to carry with you.
What was I saying? The fan, the click, the hum, so heavy, can't